Well, hello and welcome back to B-Roll Britain. We are here in Mere in Wiltshire, and we're just going to take a little mosey around the town, see what we can find, show you a few interesting places. There's a little bit of history here on Mere. Mere in Wiltshire has a rich history with evidence of activity dating back to prehistoric times. The town is located on a ridge where the boundaries of Wiltshire, Dorset and Somerset meet. It was a royal estate in 1086 and cloth making became established in the 16th century. Mere also has a history of local industries including flax cultivation in the late 17th century. So here we are going to bimble down this little lane. Look at these lovely little quaint cottages. There we are, that one's named Barton. Quite a narrow little street. It's nice to see no road markings. Look at this one. What a lovely little cottage that one is. Right, what we got down here? It's not that warm today. I've still got my woolly hat on. I'm not going to part with that until the sun really shows its face. Here we have a look at the Mere Library. I shouldn't think it's open today. Look at this lovely Victorian lamppost. Yeah, nice bit of architecture there. Oh, I could smell fish and chips. Yeah. Hello. And here we are. Look, the library is actually the museum too. Seems fairly quiet on this Saturday afternoon. Mind you, it is bank holiday, so a lot of people would have gone away on holiday. This building looks like a school, possibly. And here we are, look, at the church in Mere. Now here we are, I can see this is St. Michael, the Archangel in Mere. We'll just take a little wander through. Look at these lovely trees, all been pollarded into shape. Looking like tin soldiers, all stood there on parade. Right, I do believe there's an interesting graveyard in here. Not sure exactly where it is, but I'm sure we'll better find it. There we are, look, a lovely monument there. Probably commemorating soldiers in World War II and possibly one. Yeah. What a lovely looking church. And the graveyard is well kept. I see a lot of dandelions coming up through now. Daisies too, look, lots of daisies. And the church is open today, but we won't go in today. But you can see the entrance, that lovely grand entrance. Look at these bushes here, look. They look interesting, don't they? Here we are, coming round here, look, they even put a seat out there for me, look, in case I get tired. We'll stand back here, look, and we'll have a quick look up at the tower. Hope you don't get too dizzy. Wow, that is high. As I said, it's still quite chilly. The wind is still a little bit biting, shall we say. Look at this gravestone here, look. That's quite different. Not sure what it's about. But it's certainly different. It's not like any of the others here. We'll try and keep to the paths, be respectful. I'm not sure what this building here is, but possibly the vicarage. We've got a lovely seat here, look. Commemorating somebody, Alexander Desmond Lavender, 1923 to 1991. And we are going to take a little wander down through that alleyway there. Well, I thought there was an interesting gravestone here. Is it this one up here I've been told about? Yeah, it's not going to be very easy to read it at all. Oh, actually there's a plaque down here. Let's see if we can read this. In memory of Edmund, is it? Edmund Dowling, who died of some smallpox, which he... I can't hardly read this. Here we are, is an interesting stone within the wall of the church. Near this place lieth the body of Jane, daughter of Osmond Hill, who departed here in 1693. Yeah, just digest that, 1693. As you can hear, the bells are chiming at 4:45. Right, in the distance here we have Castle Hill, also Mere Castle, was a medieval fortification built by Richard, the Earl of Cornwall, in 1253. On a hill overlooking the town of Mere, Wiltshire, England. The castle was constructed in stone with 6 towers, inner buildings and gates. Well, as you can see today, there's no evidence of the castle really, not from here anyway. But nevertheless, very interesting. And here we are going to wander down this lane here. Look, we have some forget-me-nots there, out in full bloom. Very nice. Let's have a little wander down the back alley. Of course, a lot of the flowers are out in full bloom. Looking very nice. Oh, where's this leading us to? It's like a little mystery tour. Wow, look down there. Yeah, that looks very interesting too. But we're not going that way today. Here we are, look. I'm not sure if this is an extension of the church, but it does look well kept. Are they primroses? There we are, a lovely little display of primroses there, look. The daffodils have had their day by the looks of it. It was good to see them. Now I do believe actually that this might be a commemorative garden, and there possibly may be a plaque on this gate up here. And the gate is closed today. Well, we need to open it. Oh yes, look, this is called Dean's Orchard. So we're not sure who Dean is, but we will respectfully close the gate. Here we are, look. A nice little interesting street. Actually, I believe this is Angel Lane. Look, there's a business premise there closed up. Not sure what that was. But it has been re-roofed, so possibly going to be repurposed. Look at these lovely little old cottages here. Old Bird's Cottage, look at that. And this one here, next door, is the old Barber's. Well, we can guess what you used to do. Short back and sides, please. Right, here we're coming out to the George Inn at Mere, look. And look at the old red telephone box. That's a slowly disappearing site, isn't it? On UK streets. They've all been repurposed. A lot of them have books in them. Here we are, look, in the centre of Mere. We have some lovely colourful tea rooms there, look, which are closed at the moment. That actually is called, look, Angel Corner Tea Rooms. Very interesting. Right, up ahead here we have the Mere Clock Tower, which dated back to 1868, and it stands in the centre of a former marketplace. The clock tower was given to the town by HRH, the Prince of Wales. So let's go and take a look. Some nice benches there ready to sit down, and these look like tulips. Oh look, it's open too, so let's have a little look in here. Oh look, we've got some artwork in there, look. That looks quite interesting, doesn't it? Yeah. Lovely town map. Just take a look at these old doors. Wow, they look interesting. I bet they can tell a story. And we're across the way there, look, we've got Walton House Antiques. And next door we have the boutique charity shop. And look here, well, look at this display of tulips. Wow. And here we have, look, a lovely commemorative. 1914 to 1919. So that's obviously World War I commemorative statue. And up above there, the co-op at Mere, look, we have a plaque with Queen Victoria. The Queen Victoria Hall, 1899. Right, let's take a wander down here. Some really interesting buildings down here, look. We've got a nice antique shop coming up here, looking very swish. And it's gold and black livery with, look, lovely two big lions in the window. Look at those. You wouldn't mess with those, would you? Oh, there's a few cars about now. I said earlier it was quiet, but now proving to be different. There we have, look, Waltons of Mere, local post office, closed. Saturday afternoon, their day off. There we are, look, coming round here, look. Wow, look at these tulips. That's a lovely display, isn't it? There we are, top marks to the council for keeping that up together. Hair salon over there, look. Across the zebra crossing. Oh, sunshine's coming out. Lovely. Good to see the sun. Up ahead there on the left, look, we've got Mere Kebab House. If that's your thing, if you like a nice kebab. I used to, but I'm afraid I can't indulge anymore. Being diabetic. Next door, look, we've got a lovely antique shop there called This and That. And up above, it looks like the snooker club. The snooker club. Wow. And here, I've just noticed, we've got a karate club. So obviously Mere is the place to come for snooker or karate. Yeah, how about that then? What about, look at this house. Wow, this looks interesting, doesn't it? Looks Georgian, I'd say. And then across the way there we got the Mere Kia dealership, closed today. As I said, it is Easter bank holiday, so I guess a lot of people have gone away. And how about this for a courtyard look? Courtyard cottage, look, that looks very interesting, doesn't it? Lovely gates. What a lovely display. Right, moving on. Candle Cottage. Yes, I like that name very much. A few more shops across the way there, look. Hair design by Jill Christie. And next door we got the beauty box, and then it looks like a toy shop next door. Right up ahead there we have in the distance is the old Ship Inn. The Ship Inn, now a hotel, was built in 1711 by Henry Andrews of Woodlands. This grand inn with its elaborate sign was once on the main London to West Country route, the old A303. Now this old pub, I've heard, was haunted, so I'm guessing it must still be haunted. I shouldn't imagine that the ghosts have moved on. Let me know in the comments if you know any different. Across the way there, look, we've got Jean's Electrical of Mere. Very interesting looking building. Looks like it's got some history to it. Union Jack flying there, look. And just down here, I believe we've got the local wine dealer. There we are, through that courtyard there. That is Yap Brothers Wine. Yep, there we are, look. Yap Brothers Wine Merchants. Don't seem to be much activity there at the moment. As I've said earlier, if you're actually enjoying this content, please remember to hit that like button, subscribe, and smash that bell, as they say, so you can get to hear about my future uploads. And across the road there we have the old bank buildings, which are now turned into 2 residential properties. But there's still evidence that it was a bank. Nice display outside. Well done. And here we have, which looks like to me, the Citroen 2CV meet. So let's just watch them go on by, shall we? A lovely colourful maroony type red and cream one there. Nice blue one. Oh, I think he's got a little bit of trouble, that one. Come on, girl, there you go. Come on. Here she comes. Lovely, interesting number plate there, look. Golf 189, Echo Lima. Wave goodbye. Look at that, lovely. There she goes, 2ZV6 Special Dolly. Very interesting. Oh, there we are, I can hear another one starting up now, look. Nice blue one. Looks like they're going to go off in convoy. Come on, Bluey. You're free to come out. It looks like they're possibly on tour. They do have English plates on them, so they are English. There she goes. Thank you. Lovely 2CV. There we go. It doesn't look like this one's moving at the moment, but interesting nonetheless. And here we have a very interesting plaque on the wall outside the malt house. This actually says, "Let Salisbury Civic Society, Hugh Wolf Frank, 1913 to 1988, known as the Voice of Doom, chief interpreter at the Nuremberg International War Crimes Trials of Nazi leaders and pioneer of simultaneously interpretation." He lived here from 1984 to 1987. Wow. Nice little interesting snippet. Right, we're going to end this video here. Hope you found it interesting. This is Mere in Wilts, UK, on this lovely sunny afternoon. So say, if you like this content, please like, comment, subscribe. It's free, won't cost you a penny, and you will be helping out my channel. Thank you very much, and see you in the next one.